Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to another episode of the WYW Draft Combine where the best of the best have come together to prove themselves and worthy of a WYW contract. We are here tonight kicking off with a triple threat of three brand new superstars who are looking to make a name for themselves. Out first, William Stylez. Out here to prove himself. He's been requesting this debut for a little while now, and he's finally getting the chance. And we all know, of course, in WYW lore, your first win is the hardest to get. And especially when this triple threat is the field. So remember, 15 minutes are on the clock. It is elimination style. Otherwise, pinfall and submissions do count. And of course, the higher your chances of being drafted are going to stand up if you're winning. Because if you're entering in these late stages, you've got less of a chance to prove yourself. One of those people is Aric, who has had the benefit of the Acolytes stepping in to try and prove themselves. However, they haven't exactly had the best of starts to life. Akira Black had a very good start, but unfortunately, the rest of the group hasn't followed that trend. Can Aric find a win here tonight for the men's side of the Acolytes? And our final competitor, returning to WYW from the Revolution brand, Jamie Harris. He may be an alumni, but of course he was on Revolution and didn't get too many opportunities to show what he could really do. 5 years have passed, he's evolved, he has a chance tonight to cement himself up there with the best. And again, joining in the later stages of the Combine isn't going to give you exactly the fairest shake of the stick. So you need to come into matches like this with the rare opportunities that you get, and you need to make the most of them. Three men looking to do just that in this matchup. Who can walk out the victor in this competition? "15 minutes on the clock, bell rings, and away we go." And already noticeably a huge size difference here between Aric and the rest of the field. But Jamie Harris going to straight away level that one out by going straight on the offensive. Now, Jamie Harris, the only one with any experience in the field here in WYW. But look at that, straight away, the two smaller men, not exactly on the lighter side, wiping out Aric. Now, of course, the Acolytes of the Apocalypse finally got on the board with a win, with last week Akira Black getting a huge win in her Fatal 4-Way. Another win could really boost the rank of the whole squad here, and they really need to get themselves into some kind of winning conditions here in the men's division. Kick out at one there, as Jamie Harris was going for it, and Stylez was waiting for the Enziguri. And Stylez now at the hands of Aric. See, every day these new people are coming into WYW, looking to take over, looking to become the next big thing here. And a little bit of ring rust there from Aric, maybe, from waiting his turn. And this is the thing, these moments are coming thick and fast. We've had a lot of Combine episodes, but there are limited opportunities to show what you can do. You get 15 minutes at a time, and you don't know when that next 15 minutes is going to strike. For these three, this is their first appearance. They're starting probably at the bottom of the rankings here in terms of the mock drafts. So they're going to need to prove themselves, all three, if they want a shot. Jamie Harris has a WIW alumni-ship in the fact that he was a previous competitor, but how far is that going to carry him when he was only in the Revolution brand that had only just started in the Season 2 days? So limited experience, limited exposure of Jamie Harris, but he has taken control of the match early on here against both Aric and Stylez. And oh my god, that's one way to show off your style. Brilliant work there from Jamie Harris, a fall-away moonsault, essentially, almost a Spanish fly in a running position. And Jamie Harris has taken control of Aric in the middle of the ring. And of course, we got a stat card tonight featuring, of course, Mason Foster, an original bred colliding one-on-one. The Equalizer, following his Battle Royal loss last week, takes on Mason Foster, who also lost last week. But the Equalizer, this is his real clean slate as one-on-one. It is a chance to really put Mason away and prove why he has labeled himself the Equalizer. And speaking of Equalizers here, in comes Stylez, who has re-entered with a few moves of his own there. And now Aric finally going to use the size and weight advantage that he has to his advantage, but he's taken straight back down by Jay Harris, who's looking to fly, but Stylez, it looked like, wiped him out of the air there, and is now using the kendo stick, which I think was brought in by Aric to full effect, but he's punched out of the hands there by Jamie Harris, who catches him by the arm and slams him down right on the kendo stick. And remember, as tradition states, it is 15 minutes, but it is also pinfalls and submissions. And as you can see here, no disqualifications, which Jamie Harris is trying to take full advantage of right now. And now Jamie Harris in a spot of bother. Up on the shoulders, burning hammer from Stylez. Bringing out the big moves. Harris trying to brush it off, but as you can see, he is knocked out in a standing position. Went for a lariat there with Stylez, couldn't get it. And the frustration there, a series of hits from both men there. And now Jamie Harris has Aric in a bad spot. Massive package powerbomb. And going to go for the cover here. And Stylez is going to let him. Lordicus makes the count, and Aric is able to kick out at 2. And I thought Aric might have been gone there, and now Stylez going to try and look to get on the offensive, look for a springboard maneuver of his own, and he ends up on Aric instead of Jay Harris. And Jamie Harris now gets him up for a suplex. And going to show his strength here, holding it in. Stylez in a spot of bother here. Jamie Harris showing his stuff, and he slams him down there with a stalling suplex. Gonna go for the cover off of it as well here. Stylez in a bit of trouble, but no, he's not. Only a 1 count. And Stylez here needs to really turn around because he's met with another kendo stick by Aric. And Aric, no stranger to using the weaponry, and has broken that kendo stick over the back of Jamie Harris. Proceeds to pick up the other one, and he's broken that one as well. And now, once again, Harris and Stylez need to get on the offensive at Aric, try and keep him under control. But instead he gets hit with a lariat and a massive spear to Aric. And that could be the end of Aric's night here. Cover on Aric. It's a 2 count. Huge kick out there. Stylez and Harris now square off once again. Stylez thinking of something big maybe to put Jamie Harris away. Massive spine buster there. Into the cover. Aric's going to let it happen. Is that the end of Jamie Harris's night? It is. Stylez with the elimination. Dodges the strike there as Aric tried to take advantage of a distracted Stylez, but Stylez stays in control. And Stylez didn't get off to the best of starts in this match, but he has taken control here. And now flipping off Aric. He's starting to feel the confidence with 5 minutes gone. And Aric has taken some huge hits in this match as well. It's not going to go in his favor. Massive lariat folds him inside out there. And the big man is white. Oh, and look at that. Was trying to get some more ground strikes, but Aric was able to get control. And for Jamie Harris, not the return to the WIW stage he would have been hoping for. Aric now looking for more weapons, finds another kendo stick, but also finds Stylez flying at him. Massive springboard. And William Stylez is on a roll right now. And Stylez needs to stay on top of Aric. You let a big man like that get control, you only have to look at what happens with Ahmed Ali in the ring, with Maven in the ring. Things like that, they escalate. And now what's he thinking here? Hooks both arms into a Tiger Bomb. And in complete control right now is Stylez. And I feel like Aric has been the victim of a gang attack almost here in this triple threat. Because Aric has been hit with the biggest moves because I guess they identified him as the biggest threat going in. And Stylez now really punishing him here on the outside. He has taken complete control and shown his worth. And Jamie Harris once again watching on, showing some respect on the outside to Stylez, who Stylez now might be looking to wrap this one up to get rid of Aric. What does he have in mind? That massive spine buster again. Aric's had a lot of hits in this match. He's cut above the eye and has nothing left to give. With 2 eliminations, Stylez hugely jumps himself up the rankings there and does something that is extraordinarily rare in WIW, getting a win on your debut. The self-proclaimed leader of the Stylez Club dominates here in a big way in his debut. He turns up, he looks the part, he's acting the part, and he demonstrates incredible performance here to get himself noticed. And that is definitely going to help in his draft stock in the long run. He may have entered in late into these combines, but he has made a name for himself instantly here. William Stylez gets the job done. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card. Next up tonight is one of 2 very special tag matches. One that we've only had once before in WIW history. We are running 2 Four Corners tag team matchups. A huge stipulation tonight, and of course the one match that we did run of this in the old WIW was nominated and was second place in WIW's Match of the Year, and of course that was contested by the Wolfpack the Chaos Twins, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head now, JW Cashman and William Hale, as well as the linebackers. No, not the linebacks, the backbreakers, of course, of Carter James and KO Oxley. An incredible match, and that was one for the ages, and that looks to be here as well. And as you can see, already in the ring, we've got 2 tag teams. We have the Lone Star Express, who made quite the first impression in their debut, but were unable to get the victory. They'll be hoping for better now. As for these two as well, Owen Garrett and Duke Maxwell, the House, who did not have a great first debut, I think it's fair to say. And tonight they'll be looking to make a much stronger first impression in this match. So if you're not familiar with a Four Corners tag match or the way we do them here, let me break it down. We have tweaked it slightly to how it was before, but it's going to run this the same principle as the Aces of Hearts, who have been dominant in the Combine so far, are here to get another victory. So the rules are simple. This will be a standard tag match rules, so everyone will be on the apron and only 2 legal men at one time. The caveat of this match is that you can tag out at any time to anyone. It does not have to be your tag partner. And the benefit of this time round is that we are running elimination. So there will be no timer because we've given the tag team some leeway. But again, you have to eliminate the teams that are around you, all 3 teams. And this time it is not double elimination, so not everyone in your team has to be eliminated. If one member of your team is pinned or submitted, you are eliminated from the match. And this continues until the last team is standing. Like I say, we have done this in WIW before, but that was an elimination for everyone, so the whole team had to be eliminated. This time we've tweaked it so that is the case. And out comes the Order next, who are desperate to make a good impression. They've had a shaky start to life in the reboot, but we know how good this team can be at the top of its game, and it will be hoping that it can reach the top of its game tonight here against 4 tag teams, well, 3 other tag teams, should I say, eager to prove their stuff and prove that they are warranting a place here in WIW. And Lordicus sounds the bell, and then we are starting off with Duke Maxwell of the House and Peter Bolton of the Ace of Hearts. The bell rings and away we go. And 4 very different styles here in terms of teams. The Aces of Hearts, of course, with the Order at the moment, who are both getting the shots in there. Nux taking a shot at Maxwell and taking another one as well. But Maxwell still fighting his way out of the enemy territory and gets bolted up on the shoulders for a Michinoku driver. And again, Alan Hart now getting a shot in on him. And it looked like Merritt was trying to do one too, but Duke Maxwell saw it coming and he gets a cheap shot in. And again, there's no allies here. You're seeing all of the teams colliding. And you may think that there may be a temptation to, have an ally tag team. You know, we've seen it in the past. The heel teams and the face teams working together to make sure they get rid of the bigger threats. But in a match like this, it doesn't really benefit you to work with other people. I mean, if you can forge an alliance, yes, but this is an elimination tag match. If your tag team is out, it benefits them, so it's not going to matter. And the first tag of the match is a cross-branded team. In comes Nux of the Order, who's probably been the better of the 2 in terms of showing off what they can do so far. But the problem that Merritt and Nux have had so far is just being able to switch into that second gear and use their tag team IQ. Because if you think back to the elimination matches we've had so far, Merritt and Nux have made it to the final 2 both times, even at one for the road. Massive suplex there on Owen Garrett, who's tagged himself in. And they've worked together well as a team, but then it comes down to Nux after Merritt gets eliminated. And Nux made the same mistake twice. Instead of reading the room and realizing that he should try and ally with the numbers game, he worked solo, tried to take on everyone, and ended up being once again in a 2v1 situation that he was never going to come back from. And Nux, he's a tough guy, and we know his credentials. Merritt and Nux are an established tag team, but they need to start being smarter with how they're running these tag matches. In comes the Lone Star Express for the first time, and then that's one hell of an introduction to the match from Mark Martinez. The Lone Star Express, of course, a throwback to the classic tag teams of the golden era, I guess it were. And they're looking to revitalize the tag team scene here in WIW. A lot of these teams have really shown their stuff. I think in terms of rank, you have to say that the highest ranked team in this tournament, or in this matchup so far, should I say, is Peter Bolton and Alan Hart. Early cover there, and Nux is saved by Merritt. And of course, you want to save your own partner, but the referee's going to have to be a lot stricter here with who he allows into the matchup. Massive takedown there, big shoulder tackle to Mark Martinez, and in comes Alan Hart for the first time in this match. Now, Alan Hart has been pretty good since he came back. Of course, he never really struck gold as a single star, but since forming an alliance with Peter Bolton in Season 2, reluctantly so, they've worked together and they've become quite the credible force in WYW. And you're seeing it now on the reboot. They look like a well-oiled machine as of late, as right now, Alan Hart just really pummeling Mark Martinez there on the apron. And now look at this, going to get some more shots in. Going after Duke Maxwell now. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They're having their heads switched on. There's no alliances here from any teams. Everyone is just going in for themselves. And that's exactly what you need to do in a match like this. You need to worry about yourself. And look at this. Alan Hart is on absolute fire right now, as he then wipes out Mark Martinez with a springboard forearm. And getting him back in the ring, of course, elimination can occur on the outside. The count has begun. Oh, and Owen Garrett saw him trying to get another cheap shot in on Duke Maxwell and didn't let it happen. Oh, and Maxwell tried to get in there, but I think Def Lordicus is telling him to get out as Mark Martinez has taken control. And now is going to tag out to Marvelous Ricky Reed, a tag team partner who runs and charges straight at Alan Hart, who's looking for a tag and finds one, leaps under the legs of Ricky Reed to find Merritt, who gets himself in this match. And now look at this, Ricky Reed has got Alan Hart once again and giving him a little something on the way out there with that. And then straight away eliminates Merritt out of that matchup. Look at this. Ricky Reed right now cleaning up house. He's taking out Hart. He's taking out Merritt. And now apron DDT to Peter Bolton. And now back in the ring, looking to get rid of Nux as well. Cheap shot to Nux. We couldn't knock him off the apron. And it's allowed time for Merritt to get himself in here. But what essentially a hot tag maneuver there from Ricky Reed, who is now tying him up nicely for a Northern Light suplex. And this is the classic style we expect to see from a classic tag team like Mark Martinez and Ricky Reed. And they tag out back to the house, and Duke Maxwell is back in. And a massive running knee on re-entry. And now Merritt in a bit of trouble here as Maxwell's come out steaming. Maxwell seemingly the target of attack here from most of the tag teams whilst on the ring apron. He's been targeted by them. Now remember, this is elimination, but it looks like all the teams are kind of staying with their own corners for now. They've found their place and they're sticking there. And right now the Order taking control, and look at this, getting a cheap shot in on both of the Lone Star Express. And now look at this, Maxwell catches him distracted. And this is what's happening. A lot of tag teams, a lot of moving parts, a lot of trash talking. Everyone's kind of getting distracted with one another, not paying attention to their surroundings, and they're being made to pay. And now look at this, Duke Maxwell with some Muay Thai knees in the corner. And now I'm going to stomp him out maybe in the corner as well. Well, look at this, just pressing his weight down on the chest of Merritt, and massive Meteora knees as well. Maxwell's looking confident. This is already a much better showing from the house, and into the cover they go. Oh, but it looks like Mark Martinez kind of got in the way there as he felt like getting a cheap shot in, and it's a 2 count. And this is what I'm saying here. Notice how he didn't come in to interrupt or interfere with the pin. Mark Martinez just comes across to get a cheap shot in at the Aces of Hearts. In comes Nux now, but Duke Maxwell crawling for the hot tag, and he gets it. Back in comes Ricky Reed, who catches Nux taunting. He's trying to show up for the crowd, and that was not the smartest thing to do. And now, Ricky Reed right now carrying this hot tag momentum. Massive drop kick right to the head of Nux. Nux now needing to recover. He took his eyes off the prize, and Ricky Reed took advantage. And now, another tag with the house, and it's looking maybe like there's a little bit of a friendly alliance there between those two teams, but they're not helping each other as such. They're more just giving each other a chance to breathe. And right now, Nux in control of Owen Garrett. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Owen Garrett that took the pin in the previous matchup for the house. So he's going to be looking to improve upon that massive running elbow. And Duke Maxwell, I think, is going to break it up. He gave his partner a chance to kick, but he's come to his rescue. And now look at this, getting his shots in here as well, Duke Maxwell. And I tell you what, this has been a much better showing from the house. The two did not impress in their debut, in my opinion, but this is easily the best that they have looked so far. They're looking like a cohesive unit. They're working together. They're helping each other out. and they are starting to run the gambit here and causing problems for one of the biggest men, if not the biggest man in this matchup, in Nux. And the Order, I'm sure, will not appreciate that. They desperately need a win, and that might have just caught Garrett off guard. Garrett, with a running headbutt, might have just knocked him out, but it's a 2 count. And once again, you see Mark Martinez there, kind of blocking Owen, looking like he was blocking Duke Maxwell there, maybe preventing the interference of him to prevent him from stopping elimination. Garrett able to kick out on his own accord, but he's under pressure now. Spins him round for a German suplex. Now looking for massive lariat to follow through. Nearly takes the head off of Nux. Cover 2 Nux, and it's a 2 count, and I thought maybe that was the first elimination of the matchup. And Garrett now starting to feel a bit confident, but he makes a slip up there. Big chop, and they're trading chops now. Look at this, these two just trading strikes. Garrett, a braver man than I to be trading strikes with someone like Nux, and now has Nux in the middle of the ring. Another shot to Nux. These two going back and forth right now. And a massive sidewalk slam as well, planted in the middle of the ring. And now look at this. Oh, Nux may be thinking hot tag, and look at this. Garrett is daring the Aces of Hearts to come in. In comes Alan Hart. Ducks the punch. He was ready in anticipation. And Alan Hart might have just fallen straight into the trap of Owen Garrett there. Pump handle slam. Into the cover. Is that going to be enough? Peter Bowen, it looks like he was wiped out the apron. And the House have got the elimination. The Aces of Hearts, who have won every match so far since their return, are the first eliminated here. And you see no hesitation as they go straight back in to pairing off again. And Nux now back in the ring after literally just tagging out Alan Hart. A perfect strategy from Owen Garrett. He saw that the hot tag was coming. He let it happen, anticipated it, and then with a pump handle power slam essentially, eliminates Alan Hart and has just eliminated one of the biggest threats in this matchup. That is a huge elimination. That is going to bump the stock of the house massively, and they are continuing to run the gambit here. They are not slowing down. And a tag made once again to Garrett. These two trying to keep it between each other. Massive dropkick there by Nux, who I think starting to get infuriated with these two. And I've noticed here a clever strategy here from both members of the Lone Star Express. They've covered one corner each, trying to cover their bases here to try and open themselves up to more tag team options. And Merritt, now a bit of trash talk to Owen Garrett. Maybe he feels like he can get the elimination of Garrett himself into the cover here on Merritt. And it's only a 1 count. Need a bit of work there. And this 4 corners tag team match is heating up. We've got 4 other teams doing it again later on tonight. How will these two fare after these 4 teams are tearing them apart? And right now the House are looking absolutely fantastic. They've clearly regrouped after last week's poor performance. They've rejuvenated themselves, and they are starting to run away with this matchup. And now a bit of tag work between the two of them. And we haven't seen much of this in this match, but there we go. Maxwell and Garrett are really looking confident in this matchup. Now Merritt trying to look for a bit of tag offense himself, maybe trying to get back to Nux in the corner. But instead, Maxwell saw it coming and using the turnbuckles there to land the forearm. But whilst he was distracted, the tag was made, and back in comes Mark Martinez. And now Mark Martinez, Garrett saw it though, and he managed to deal with it. Maybe he was thinking for the power slam again. Oh no, I mean, Garrett was the one that landed it, but Maxwell probably has the same moves. Oh god. Yep, and an instant realization there. An instant realization that they nearly wiped each other out. Again, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to tag team IQ. They clearly have it in abundance. Ricky Reed and Mark Martinez avoiding each other there. And that was nearly an awkward situation. Cover here on Mark Martinez. And it's a 2 count. Ricky Reed seemed confident that he was going to kick out. And it looked like Nux was making sure that Ricky Reed did not come in. Crucifix there. Didn't bridge into it. And now all of a sudden the Lone Star Express trying to look to get rid of the house. Right now, Duke Maxwell just on the recovery. Now might be looking for some tag offense here. And he does find the tag. And with a gut punch, Merritt re-enters the match. For Merritt and Nux, they haven't, like I say, they've had a mixed bag. They've had some impressive performances, but no wins so far. They would be desperate to get this win. I think actually every team in this match is looking for their first WYW win. But of course, when you've got tenure like Merritt and Nux did, they're not just going to look to bank on that. They're going to be looking to really prove themselves here. Oh my god! Beautiful move there from Merritt and that might be enough. No one's coming to his rescue, but luckily he didn't need it. Garrett kicks out at 2 again, and now look at this, both men on the other apron, calling for the hot tag. Who's he going to go to? He goes to his tag partner, and Duke Maxwell re-enters the match, and Merritt was not paying attention. It looks like he was doing like a machine gun there. Oh, look at that, nice little switch up, but Duke Maxwell did not fall for it, and another flying forearm. He is favouring the springboards here tonight. Is that going to come at his detriment? Cover here, looking to get rid of Merritt, and Merritt kicks out again. Very nicely done from Duke Maxwell there. And again, the Order gets caught being complacent, taking their time. They're not paying attention to their surroundings, and once again, the House have taken advantage. And you notice here in this matchup that the Lone Star Express have been smart. They've come in stages, got a couple of hits in, and the second they sense signs that they're losing control, they tag out. It's very smart tag work from this team, and in comes again some more tag team action between Merritt and Nux. What are they thinking here? Nux, oh, massive big boot, and that's the teamwork we expect to see in tag matches like this. And look at the height he got on that. Nux, I told you, he's got some moves for a bigger man. You notice a lot of the Giants now have that ability. Let's not forget in the Battle Royal last week, Maven hit a bloody reverse Hurricane Rana. Insanity. Went for a big boot, was caught lunging, and now Maxwell takes advantage and uses the leverage to get him over the head for a suplex. And into the cover. Is that enough to get rid of Merritt? Of Nuts, excuse me. It's not. And it's a 2 count. This match is heating up. The first team eliminated was the shock elimination. And look at that. He's sensing he was tired, running out of steam. And now in comes Ricky Reed. Ricky Reed squaring off now with Nux, who has been in this match quite a bit, to be fair. Of any individual, I think Nux has been in the most. But you've seen the level of control that Garrett and Maxwell have had in this matchup. And again, I credit their work, and they're really trying to show themselves and boost themselves up the tag ranks. But I think, look at this, it's again smart play from Ricky Reed and from Duke Max and from again, there's so many people in this ring, from Mark Martinez. They come in, get some offense in, tag out, massive knee. Merritt might have just made a huge mistake there, and Maxwell now trying to stay on top of him. Merritt finds a breathing room for a second, but again, Maxwell stays on top. He's being smart in this matchup, and now look at this, insecurity to Mark Martinez. There are no friendships in this matchup. Everyone is wiping out each other, and now look at this, trying to clean the house in this corner by getting rid of Nux, but he couldn't. And oh my god, he springboards straight over there, and now Merritt has the ring advantage. And look at this, daring Maxwell to get back in. Oh, he knocked off Ricky Reed on the way through there, and then got caught with a big boot, distracted by Ricky Reed. And now Ricky Reed is coming back into the matchup. Big slip up there from Merritt. He's going to look to maybe make the tag. No, he gets him on the ropes. Well avoided there by Ricky Reed. And a bit of awkwardness here in the middle of the ring. These two trying to get one up on each other, and no one can really land the hit. And now Ricky Reed, massive running uppercut. Very nicely done there. And look at this on the outside. I've just noticed Duke Maxwell and Nux are going back at it again. Whilst in the middle of the ring, Ricky Reed has no choice but to tag in Owen Garrett in this corner. And now setting him up. What's he thinking here? Look at this. From the middle rope. Nicely done. Backbreaker and elbow drop combination. And right now, these teams are firing off. You're seeing some tag offense. You're seeing some teamwork. This is one chaotic match. And now look at this. Ricky Reed going to get a shot in on Nux as well. Nux is in a bad position. But as is Merritt, who is now being targeted by both members of the house, as Duke Maxwell re-enters the match. And now look at this. Might be looking to get rid of Merritt. Merritt has no partner to save him. He's in trouble here. Needs to kick out. Can he find the power to kick out? He can indeed. Huge kick out there, and Maxwell can't believe it. You can see the frustration kicking in from Duke Maxwell. He's not happy about that one. He thought he had this one in the bag. He thought he just got rid of the order and it would have been down to 2, but it wasn't meant to be. Now looking for another tag. This time Merritt sees it coming and gets himself out of that corner. And look at this. Oh man, planted face first into the canvas. Quick cover. Lordicus counting. And the house is eliminated. They got too confident and they've been asked to leave at ringside and they're gone. Garrett and Maxwell have been eliminated. Quite the performance from them. They really showed themselves off as a tag team. But it was not meant to be, and more tag offense here
as we are down to the final two teams. The Lone Star Express and the Order, the last two teams remaining. Look at this, hot tag, spinebuster, into the cover. Is that enough? No, it isn't. Merritt keeps it alive. And we are down to the final two here. The Lone Star Express and the Order. Two teams that are desperate for a win here, looking to get it. And now look at this, the strength on show here, maybe looking for a crucifix bomb. Oh no, look at this, wrenching on the back here into a submission. And once again, Merritt has to come to the rescue. Mark Martinez tried to intercept. And now Merritt getting tossed out of the ring by the legal man, Ricky Reed. The final two teams remaining in this matchup. And that was a quick elimination there on Garrett. I don't think he was ready for it. And now look at this, Mark Martinez wiping out Merritt, trying to stop further interference in this matchup to prevent the win. And the Lone Star Express now, you see where they have the advantage here. They are the freshest men in this ring because they've been in the least, they've come in, they've done their stuff, and they've tagged out. It's smart, efficient tag team wrestling. They knew what they were planning to do. They had a plan going in, and they've executed that plan to perfection. And now look at this, Ricky Reed now switching his attention to Merritt on the other side. I think they've had enough of Merritt interference here, and he really has been the main interrupter in all of this so far. Two teams I don't think many would have expected to be the final two, but it is the final two we got, and a re-entry at the count of 6 as Merritt did enough to distract the legal man. Now Nux being taken to the tag corner of the Lone Star Express. And the Lone Star Express, what are they thinking here? Oh, look at this, gets him up. Some more classic tag maneuvers. Massive doomsday. Massive work there. Lovely stuff. And that's the classic tag offense you expect to see from a team of this style. Michinoku driver. And the Lone Star Express are firing on all cylinders now. Nux, who has taken quite the beating in this matchup. He's definitely been in here the most out of anybody. And now Mark Martinez trying to think about what he was doing next, but he took a bit too long. And Nux now trying to gain a foothold back in this match. But once again, Mark Martinez staying in control, and a massive lariat folds the big man inside out. And he's going to go for the cover off the lariat. And once again, Merritt was there to break it up. And Ricky Reed now almost giving some warning shots, and he gave a warning shot there to Nux. As his partner rolled out of the ring, he gave him the space to do that. Again, look at this. It's the brains, the smart tag team IQ of a team like this. They know what they're doing, and they are doing it well. They are keeping themselves alive in this tag match, but Merritt now showing a bit of tag team IQ himself and puts Mark Martinez back into trouble as Merritt has him lined up. But Merritt was too distracted with Ricky Reed, and now Mark Martinez looking to take advantage. Massive hip toss. And the crowd are starting to fire up here. This final two battle is kicking off. I thought once we got to this point that these teams would start running out of steam, but it's almost looking like these two have just come in. These guys are really firing off here and looking for the win. They're bringing out the big tag maneuvers, both teams, and using their tags efficiently. Another tag here. Back in comes Ricky Reed. And Reed, oh, caught him waiting. And now look at Reed. Smack bang in the middle of the ring. A tombstone. Didn't even branch it in fully. Went straight from the shoulder. But once again, Merritt was there and won to break it up. And this is the problem now. Merritt is not allowing this match to die. The Lone Star Express, they have control. They sense that they've got this win. They just need to make sure that there's no further interference on the outside, or they're never going to be able to get the job done. Now look at this. Nux has caught him on the outside, running at him, and lands him onto the ring apron. And now can maybe the Order try and find the nail in the coffin here. They just need the one pinfall, and they are going to walk out victorious in this matchup. It's been an incredible match so far. We saw the early elimination of Bolton and Hart from the House. The House were then eliminated by the Order. Can we see another elimination from the Order to win this match, or will there be an elimination on behalf of this team? And now there's a break up there. The Lone Star Express almost putting themselves at risk there, and went for a massive running elbow, saw it coming, and lands a drop kick. I tell you what, Ricky Reed and Mark Martinez, they look the part, and they are certainly playing the part right now, looking for a tombstone again, finds it again, and bridging through into the cover again. Can they stop the Merritt interference this time? No, they can't. Mark Martinez, and you can see he is starting to get frustrated with Merritt. And they're having an exchange of words there on that side. And now gets him up. Spinebuster into the cover again. Can he stop Merritt's interference? Merritt ducks under the big boot. And he breaks it up at 2. And Merritt really is keeping the match alive right now because Nux is out of it. Look at him, he's standing, but he's out cold. But now making a bit of a recovery there with the headbutt. That's not going to help. But he does the smart thing here and tags out. He is taking a beating in this matchup. And now Merritt now sees a downed Ricky Reed. Can he find a way to snatch a victory here whilst his partner's been taken care of? And what's he thinking? Sees him on the ring apron. Needs to stay on top of him here. Good thing there's no timer. Oh, massive! Massive knee to the jaw. Straight into the cover. Ricky Reed is down. And he's out as well. Ricky Reed is done. And the Order take the victory in this Four Corners tag team matchup. What a performance from this team. Both teams really put in a showing, but a huge victory for a team that was in desperate need of showing that they do have what it takes to get the job done in WIW. Merritt and Nux with a huge tag team victory that's going to shoot them up the ranks. An incredible Four Corners tag team match and an impressive performance from these two. But we've got plenty more action to come here tonight. And that is just a taste of what more is to come. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card. It's time for some women's action. And as last week we had the men's battle royals to help determine rank, I think it's only fitting that the women of WIW get their turn to do so. Out first, Cassidy Violet, who got a huge debut win in her matchup, of course, trained by Brad Skeens, so we knew she had that World Championship power in her, because Skeens has an eye for talent. Say what you will about the man, but he knows who to recruit. Look at Nathaniel and Lachlan. They weren't exactly huge names before they made it to WIW, and even during, but then again, he recruits them in. They become loyal servants, they help him out, and he knows that they've got talent that no one else is really noticing. And he's clearly seen something here in Cassidy Violet that he likes, and she is thriving so far. 1-1, you can't ask for a better start. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Miss TNT here, Tiffany Nicole Torres, who will be looking to get a big win back here in this matchup. And again, the Battle Royal, there's loads of ways to really show yourself. Of course, it's awkward to show off your moveset in a match like this, so it's more about trying to rack up those eliminations, trying to re-establish yourself here as a winner. If you can get the win, survive the longest, it really shows your stuff. And again, you're facing every woman who has tried out so far, so this is a huge opportunity to really show your stuff. Out next, someone who desperately needs the win in Sefina. Right now, the Samoan Society have had a good start to life, but it's still been a mixed bag. Some wins, some losses. Of course, Aku yet to still be on the board. Kiahi gets his win, but again, it's been a mash so far. It has been a mishmash of styles, and it's been a mismatch of success for them. And Sefina will be looking to get some success here. She made it to the final two in her fatal four-way, her triple threat match, excuse me. She'll be looking to go all the way. But the person who beat her makes her way down to the ring. An impressive first victory from Amber Young in her first match. And again, hardest thing to do in WIW. I'll preach it till the cows come home. But if you win, you are usually destined for success in WIW, and that is exactly the case here for Amber Young. She's proven herself to be a hot commodity, and with another win here, she could really prove to be one of the top women in the division, and that's going to look favorably on her women's draft rank. The women's draft will have its own separate draft pool, which means there will be more points available for the women at the top of the pile, and a good chance here to assert herself. They're going to all be fighting for the WIW Women's Championship very soon, and they're looking to establish themselves as one of the people to do it, and Amber Young has certainly done that so far. Someone else who will be definitely making a claim for that, making her first Combine match appearance, I believe, is Hallie Ricci. The former Hallie Bowen, who of course is a two-time Mayhem Women's Champion, will now be looking to re-establish herself here in this matchup. She had a very impressive win against Katherine Albright at One for the Road, showcasing the talent of the former women's division, but she's got a lot of new faces here, a lot of new challenges to deal with. She needs to show and assert her dominance so she can resume her place back at the top of the card. It took her a long time to get there. Remember, she was in a division of Monday Night Mayhem, and of course the Mayhem division was dominated for pretty much the entirety of its existence by Sandra Piper. And that was why it was such a big deal when Hallie Ricci was able to overcome her and start her first reign as the women's champion. It was a huge achievement, it was a huge moment, and she is now looking to repeat history by starting to get herself back on track. Out next, someone else who I think needs to get herself back on track is the Queen, Cassidy Cross. She was eliminated, of course, in her Fatal 4-Way, I believe hers was. Or actually, maybe hers was a triple threat as well. They're all starting to blur together now, but I know that she was unsuccessful. And the self-proclaimed Queen of Wrestling, someone who believes herself to be literal royalty, will need to prove herself. And here was the winner of that match. It was indeed Akira Black, the only member of the Acolytes with a win. And she'll be looking to make it win number 2 here. She's got the look, she's got the poise, and we see that she had the wrestling prowess to match that style as well in her Fatal 4-Way matchup. And now tonight, she'll be looking to make it 2 for 2, as with the rest of the field, trying to get maybe their first win. For some, there's their second. Of course, for Ricci and Albright, they have had matches galore, so their records stand above the rest, which will help them, of course. But about your history in WIW will only carry you so far. You still need to be successful. You still need to win. And that is exactly what Akira Black was able to do first time out. Aric was unlucky tonight. Is that another bad omen for the Acolytes? It doesn't seem to be, because right now Akira Black is truly running the show. Out next, another fan favorite, a familiar face in Katherine Albright. A big part of the women's division for WIW, and then had an incredible showing. And I just realized I said that Hallie Ricci won at One for the Road. She didn't. Katherine Albright won at One for the Road. I'm still misremembering that match, and I'm sure Katherine Albright's never going to let me forget that, because she's earned the right to be recognized as the winner in that matchup, and a winner in WIW. Can she now find one more win here to really put herself at the top of the pile in WIW?
15 minutes on the clock, bell rings, and away we go, and we continue with the Battle Royal hype. It is the season after all, and these women now getting a chance to show themselves, letting the women in the tag teams have more screen time here, just to try and really give them the opportunity to show themselves. They're a lot smaller in terms of the quantity, but the quality does not drop off here. We already had a couple of winners. Hallie Ricci, of course, with a big win at One for the Road. Amber Young had a good win on her debut, as did Cassidy Violet, but also impressive performances from the likes of Sefina, Cross, Akira Black, who I've already mentioned. Katherine Albright, of course, actually was the winner. I've just realized now that I've said Hallie Ricci was the winner, when, of course, it was Katherine Albright who won at One for the Road. But again, everyone is eager to prove themselves, and here is Tiffany Torres going after the former 2-time women's champion, trying to prove herself here by getting some extra reps in, and hang time there on that suplex. And the two winners from the Combine there, Akira Black and Cassidy Young, Amber Young and Akira Black. I am so sorry, there are so many people here, and I'm still not quite at 100%. And these women desperate to prove here. And again, this is more also for rank. These women are 8 of the best that we have to offer at the moment, but it is about how high they can rank. And once again, Amber Young, looking for what would be win number 2 for her, would really cement her probably as the number 1 prospect in the draft right now. Of course, you have the legacies of Hallie Ricci, the former 2-time Mayhem Women's Champion. You have Katherine Albright in the ring as well, who's been a long-tenured member of the WIW roster, and now locking up again with Hallie Ricci, who she was able to beat at One for the Road, which is definitely going to bump up her draft stock. And of course, wins, especially for Amber Young and Akira Black, are going to help more because they're debuts. Debuts are the hardest things to win in WIW, just in general. So to get their wins in very impressive showings against WIW alumni, mind you, they had a good showing and they deserved their victories. Of course, Akira Black repping the Acolytes tonight as well. The only member of the Acolytes to get a win. Aric had his debut a bit earlier on tonight. And the Acolytes of the Apocalypse as a team did not get their tag win. And look at this, a bit of double team work here between Sefina and Katherine Albright there. Double choke bomb, and now a suplex here from Amber Young to Hallie Ricci, and following through with a lariat. A lot of action all around the ring there. Cassidy Cross with a huge maneuver there. Beautifully executed. And now, in the middle of the ring, ripcord knee there from Hallie Ricci. And it looks like Ricci and Albright have parted ways after locking eyes with each other for a bit, trading some strikes, and getting their jabs in and the new people. And with 3 minutes gone here, no eliminations as of yet, And it could be the case that with only 15 minutes that not everybody gets eliminated. However, the current track record is that everybody has managed to do it so far, so we'll see how the rest of these Battle Royals go. And a huge spine buster there, one-armed by Tiffany Torres, who gets immediately jumped by Katherine Albright, and Hallie Ricci follows through on that super kick with a move of her own. And now look at this, Sefina. Oh, Sefina got right in the way there, as I think Albright was going for Ricci. Well, then again, maybe it looks like Ricci and Albright. Yeah, no, I thought so. It looked for a minute like they had formed a little bit of an alliance. That alliance was short-lived, if there was one. And now Ricci is getting hit by Albright with the three amigos. Beautiful work there. Katherine Albright blowing a Cassidy cross, but she now needs to pay attention to Amber Young, who already has a win over her, and now Tiffany Torres needs to pay attention as Cassidy Violet is looking to get the elimination here. Big combo, and there it is! First elimination of the match, Tiffany Torres is eliminated from the matchup. And that is not going to help her stock at all. She already had not the best of starts in her first Fatal 4-Way. This isn't going to help proceedings. And of course, the higher up in the rankings you start, the more points you will start with. Oh! And Sefina gets a huge elimination there. Cassidy Violet, the winner from last week, got caught off guard, and Sefina made her pay. And oh my god, Sefina with a Samoan spike there to Albright. And just like that, 2 eliminations in the space of a minute after the 5 minutes have gone. 2/3 of this way through this Women's Battle Royal. And we are already down to our final 6 competitors. And now Ricci has Cassidy Cross in a bad position. Meanwhile, Sefina in the middle of the ring. Big lay down there. Lays her out with a huge pump handle slam variation. And Amber Young now sees Sefina, who is on a roll. She already has a win over Sefina, and that's going to definitely get things moving in a direction. The Samoan Society member has a huge target on her back. We know the danger she can cause, and Amber Young is trying to make sure that that danger is snubbed out. A big combination there by Akira Black, who's up against Cassidy Cross here, and Cross is already in trouble. Oh, she holds on, skins the cat, and Akira Black couldn't stay on her as Amber Young was able to do it. And Amber Young right now, cleaning house, the only woman standing, as the others get back to their feet. Saito suplex to Hallie Ricci. And now Sefina locking horns with Amber Young again. Albright and Ricci keeping their distance here. Cassidy Cross trying to get some momentum, couldn't, and ends up back in the path of Amber Young, who she's already had the pleasure of wrestling. Oh, and Ricci, caught Albright not paying attention for a moment, and now might get Albright out of this ring. Cross rolled under the ropes there, and there goes Albright, and there goes Akira Black. You don't get any eliminations for like a few minutes, and then they all come at once, and just like that, we are down to our final 4. Hallie Ricci, the former women's champion. Amber Young, who already has 1 win to her name, looking to make a second. The female representative of the Samoan Society, Sefina, and Cassidy Cross, the self-proclaimed queen of wrestling, looking to make an instant impact here. And Sefina now going for the big one. She's going for Hallie Ricci, trying to get rid of a women's champion. And now Cross has Amber Young in a position maybe to get a little bit of revenge for the first Fatal 4-Way they had. Oh, but Young saw it coming. And now Young with those kicks and punches that we know that she's good for. And Cross is out of there. Amber Young with another elimination. And we are down to 3. Maybe that... Oh! Make that 2! I hesitated on saying it, but make that 2. Amber Young is left with Sefina. Another incredible performance from Amber Young. She made an instant impact on her debut, and she's definitely shot herself up the rankings here with several eliminations. At least 3. I'm thinking we're in the 4th. We had a 4th, though, from Amber Young. And now she is left with the leader of society, or the Women's Society, and Amber Young's done it! The last 4 eliminations were her at least, but by my money, she eliminated more than half the field. Sefina was overwhelmed there, and Amber Young cleans house in his Battle Royal and continues to prove that she is a dominant force here in WIW. And I think that could have propelled her up the women's rankings, and we might be looking at the #1 women's draft pick in WIW right now.
The sky is truly the limit for Amber Young. And hold on a minute, the lights have gone out. Oh my god! That's Sandra Piper! The former women's champion, the longest women's champion, is back and she wipes out Amber Young. A huge mission statement and a return of a WIW legend in Sandra Piper. I cannot believe I've just seen Sandra Piper is back. We thought that she was never going to make her WIW return. But not only she made her return, she's made her intent known. On now, back to the tag division. We are here for the second Four Corners tag team match of the evening. Same rules applies as before, so if you are unfamiliar with the rules, please do go and check them out in the second match of our evening. And it was an incredible match as well. So these lot have a tough act to follow. Out first, Alex Wolf, Dustin Kane, the Immortals, who came back with a huge bang. The former Revolution Tag Team Champions will now be looking to reassert their dominance, get another win here, and really stack themselves up. In terms of the two matches that we've had so far, this is definitely the more stacked match in terms of teams, because look at the caliber of teams. We've got Wolf and Kane out. Next out, DJ Assassin and Oliver Post, a team who are already building quite a following. It is the Tea Party Express. DJ Assassin with his huge win at 1 for the road definitely bumps up the stock of these two. They had a good first showing in their first tag match, but were unable to get the job done. They'll be looking to go all the way here in this one to really assert themselves. They're still learning their rhythms. They're still learning how to work together. And of course, they are still trying to impress, so they're putting on maybe more than they would usually do in terms of a show. But a team that's always looking to bring the life of the party, and that is exactly what they're looking to do here. Out next, another team who will desperately be looking for a win following Sefina's loss. It is Makani and Makoa. It is the Samoan Society. They had a draw in their first tag match as a team. I believe that actually was with the Tea Party Express. I'm saying that the Tea Party Express lost, but they didn't lose. It was a draw in the end with the Samoan Society. And they'll be desperate to get that win back on them. Both teams will. And out last, the former Mayhem and Fight Night Tag Team Champions. One of, if not the greatest tag team in WIW history. It is Kazari and Xander, Patrick Green, the Linebacks. They'll be looking to come back in and continue where they left off. However, they'll be looking for a bit of revenge in this match, as they were beaten and eliminated by Wolf and Kane in their previous tag match, and will now be looking to rectify that. Coach Wilson, I can only imagine, was screaming the house down when they returned back from that matchup. The bell rings and away we go, and we are straight away kicking off with a brainbuster, as it looks like Alex Wolf and Patrick Green are going to start this one off. And these four corner matches can get intense and hectic very quickly if you're not keeping an eye on how things are going, if you're not paying attention to yourself, to your teammate. You need to pay attention to all of these things. They have had the luxury of no time limit for the first time in these trials. They're the only people who have had this luxury. So now they need to take advantage of it. Looking for another brainbuster here, and lands it again. Just really laying on the head damage here to Kazari and Xander. To Patrick Green, and now Wolf looking to fly. He's lined back up. Patrick Green, and massive springboard maneuver there. And already taking early control is the Immortals. The Immortals have been a good force so far, and they are looking to continue that type of momentum and wiping out Kazari and Xander. While Xander was looking to try to wipe out Assassin, he couldn't. And now look at the Society. They've got him trapped in the corner there, and now Makani gonna wipe out the knee and lands him with a DDT. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, Patrick Green wiping out the Tea Party Express as he wipes out Oliver Post there on the apron. And this is what I was talking about, the tag team chaos. Look at this. Now back in the ring, and both Linebacks trying to wipe out Alex Wolf, who's trying to slip around them. He couldn't do it. And now wisely, I think, here, Kazari and Xander. Oh no, doesn't tag to Kazari and Xander. He goes to Makani of the Society, and the Society are now legal. And now look at this. Focusing on Tiger Driver, and Makani already making quite the nuisance there. Made his intentions known out the gate. And the Society are looking to get themselves further up the ranks. They're dragging up each other by getting these group wins. They have a couple so far. Kiyahi with a win, of course, and Sefina hasn't yet got a win. These two had a draw in their first match, and will be looking for the win. And once again, Wolf wipes out Kazari and Xander. And once again, the Society surround him, and once again, Makani takes advantage And that is smart play there from the Society. This is a much better start from them. And I think Alex Wolf already taking on more than he can chew here. And now gets tossed into the barricade. And I noticed Makoa there was pretty much knocked out on his feet there for the most part. Tossed into the barricade again. And now what's he looking to do? He has him up on the shoulders. And look at this. Oh! Almost a punt kick to the face there from Kazari and Xander. A good bit of teamwork there between the Linebacks and the Society. Count of 8. The count is rising. And McCartney's just realised that. A count of 9. He wipes out Dustin Kane to prevent Kane from making the save. Count of 9. It could be a quick and early shock elimination here. The referee's watching on. And that's it. What? Unbelievable. In like 3 minutes, the winners of the previous tag match have been eliminated. Wolf and Kane. That is a huge upset elimination there. Makoa and McCartney have tactically switched sides, and Wolf and Kane have been eliminated. Unbelievable. That was quick. The last one, it took like 15 minutes before the first elimination even occurred, and these two used their smarts, their common sense there to go, well, if we get them counted out, we can get rid of them quicker. And I noticed a little bit of switching sides here. It looks like Kazari and Xander has followed the Samoan Society to this corner, whereas Patrick Green has switched sides and DJ Assassin's there as well. And this is what happens when in a four corners tag match, everyone kind of gets mixed around. And that is exactly what they're doing here, trying to cover their opportunities to be tagged in. Because, of course, as much as it's dangerous and it's a risk of being eliminated, you want to be in there, you want to show yourself. The Society have just got a huge win there. I think that if you're the Immortals, after the impressive win you got last week, that is a tough pill to swallow. Into the cover. Oh, Xander realizing there that he didn't want to break that up. And Post gets a 2 count on Makoa. Or other way around, excuse me. Makoa gets it on Oliver Post. And he tags back in Patrick Green. And Oliver Post had a pretty decent debut. Like I say, him and DJ Assassin were able to drag out the draw. Initially said the loss, but they did drag out the draw. And now look at this. The strength on display from Kazari and Xander on the Linebacks as he wipes him out. And into the cover there, off the military press. And he goes for the rope. Oh, wait a minute! He's eliminated! The referee has missed it! What is happening here? This match has been an absolute shambles. Oliver Post, it looked to me, grabbed the ropes in time, but no. Def Lordicus, for the first time, I think, in his tenure as a referee, has missed it. He's made an absolute blunder of a call. And now Makoa and McCartney looking to lay up here for a win already as we're down to the final 2. TKO into the cover to get rid of the Linebacks, clean house, and get a huge victory. Their first victory as a team, but no, instead the referee is wiped out at the hands of Patrick Green. Well, I am in absolute shock. 2 quick and surprise eliminations, and we are down to 2. Kazari and Xander and Patrick Green of the Linebacks, and Makoa and McCartney of the Samoan Society. 2 teams who have, I think, really just absolutely cheap-shotted their way through here to the final 2, but they're not going to complain. This is what you need to do. They've kept themselves fresh. They've been smart about it, and now look at that. He's just wiped out Patrick Green and is now going after the legal man. They've been smart about how they've progressed in this matchup, and it looks like this one is going to be a hell of a lot shorter, folks, than the previous matchup. An incredible performance so far from both teams. You can't argue with results when they're the final 2 and their hands are raised at the end. It's their stock that's going to go up, but for the Tea Party Express, they're going to be very upset with that. A rope break, clear as day from what I see, but the referee clearly was too concentrated on the count to even notice the rope break. And right now, Makoa taking on both members of the Society as he whips Patrick Green into the barricade and maybe looking now for another count out. He saw the success of it the first time, count of 7. Makoa tosses Green into the Kazari and Xander into the barricade. I'm getting all of the names mixed up today. Too much chaos in this match. The other one was chaos, but at least it was organized chaos. Everyone was keeping it in the ring. They were keeping it clean. This match does not have that. This has been absolute chaos. And once again, the Society just wiping out anyone in sight. Xander in a bad spot now. Green in a bad spot, I mean. Why am I getting these names mixed up? These are WYW legends that I am messing the names up of here. And with both tag partners wiped out here, we're down to just Kazarian Xander and Makoa, excuse me. And now look at this. Showing off the strength here with the suplex. He's got a bit of delay on it. Look at this. He's walking around with him, showing off the strength here. And this is more like the Linebacks that we know. Their overwhelming display of power from both men, both former quarterbacks, showing what they can do. And now look at this. Massive strike across the jaw. McCartney has made his way back to the ropes. And a big frog splash there. In essence, from Kazarian Xander, who's now looking to tag back out to Patrick Green. And he makes the tag. Which way is this one going to go? These two going back and forth, really trying to wrap this one up. And I can't believe how quickly we've rattled through the eliminations in this matchup. They all went in with a plan and a strategy, and it's all worked out. I think maybe that the plan has worked out better for the society so far, but Green and Xander trying to maintain control, get another win back, because they are yet to get a win in the Combine so far, and they're not going to be happy with that. And Coach Wilson especially will not be happy with that. Huge slam there from Patrick Green. He's going to the middle rope. You don't see this often. Looking for a splash. Oh, God! To the back of McCartney. And he was not ready for that, and that's definitely done the damage. And I think he's sensing that as now he's going to wipe out Makoa. Makoa in trouble as he is dropped onto the apron. Huge momentum shift there. Patrick Green turning the tides. But now look at McCartney flying in over the top to put a stop to that little run of momentum here from the Linebacks. And we are really firing here. Look at that. Using the ring as help there on the Northern Lights. Oh my God, into a brainbuster. The Society answer back with a huge move of their own. And now I'm going to get him back in the ring at the count of 4. Might be looking for a title. No, looking for a weapon instead. This is a disqualification match. And look at this. He thought better of it. Maybe that's going to come into play later. And with Green wiped out, Xander is all that's left. And Xander gets caught taunting. Makes a huge mistake. TKO. TKO. A huge mistake. And the Samoan Society have just taken advantage. They are your winners. A huge blunder there from the former tag team champions. And Makoa and McCartney of the Samoan Society have run the gambit and they win. A match that I think a lot of people will be questioning the authenticity of that win due to all of the things that were involved in it. But they're not going to care. The Society are the victors, and their rank has just skyrocketed after a match like that. A huge win in a 4 corners tag team matchup is going to help your stock no matter how it came. Let's move on down the rest of tonight's card. Main event time, and it's a huge singles matchup here between two people desperate to prove themselves but also get some trading shots. Out first, it is the Equalizer. The original Brad is here, flanked by the Justice members who are here to make sure he gets the job done. The Justice members have paid this man to do a job, and that is to wipe out Mason Foster and make sure that he is no longer a threat. And that is exactly what he aims to do here in this matchup. I guess they're here because they know that the Divine Right will be here as well. And whilst they're unlikely to get involved, they're definitely going to cause problems for original Brad. Mason's going to have that morale boost in his corner. And they're trying to make sure that Brad doesn't have to deal with that kind of thing. And here they are. Mason Foster, Lawless, and Bruiser Brad. The Divine Right. And for Mason, it must feel like he's in Groundhog Day, having to deal with Justice once again. But at least this time he brought backup. But what he didn't anticipate was more backup being brought by Brad Skeens. And this is just becoming an arm race between the two. And they're starting to hinder themselves in terms of their own success because they keep getting in each other's way. Hopefully tonight they'll be able to settle the score, but you know these two. They can never just let it go from here. Who will walk out the winner though in tonight's main event? Mason's first singles match in the return since One for the Road. Can he get the job done against original Brad?
Final time tonight, 15 minutes on the clock. Bell rings and away we go. And original Brad straight on the offensive here against Mason. the man who is calling himself the Equalizer, trying to send a message statement here tonight. This is his first real appearance. Of course, he was in the Battle Royal last week, but his first standout singles appearance, and he's here to do a job, and the job is to take out Mason Foster as instructed by Brad Skeens and AD Nathaniel. That's what he's being paid to do. He's paid to get one over on Mason Foster, who tried to have the numbers game go in his favor for once. And that is exactly what Brad Skeens is here to do. He's here to prove himself first and foremost, and he's going to help up the rankings with a big win here against one of the former world champions. And as well, of course, him a former champion as well. This is a huge win if he can get it. As for Mason Foster, of course, his first actual real chance other than the Battle Royal to show off his stuff since One for the Road. He got a huge win over Skeens, but of course it had the huge asterisk of interference, but the interference really didn't actually even involve Skeens. Skeens, of course, used AD Nathaniel to attack him, but then I guess it was equalized in that sense, pardon the pun, by Lawless and Bruiser Brad, who are also here again at ringside to level the playing field. And of course, they didn't get off to the best of starts, unfortunately, as a tag team either, by losing to AD Nathaniel and Brad Skeens. So, you know, again, pinch of salt. The Divine Right, they're in a learning process here. They're getting used to each other again. It's been a while since they've been a unit, to my knowledge. They're getting their bearings back. And, of course, for Mason Foster, a former world champ, there's a lot of pressure on him to achieve at a high level. He was already going to have high stakes on him coming into the draft picked anyway. Everyone was expecting big things from him. And an early cover here. Oh, and it's an okay. It's a 2 count already. And Mason may not be getting the upper hand in this fight, but he's doing the damage when he is getting those hits in. And looking for another big one here with a powerbomb. Mason, a former European champion and a former world champion. Original Brad, he was the first world champion, but that is the only title that he was able to hold in WIW. Was looking for a chokeslam there, but Mason Foster saw it coming. And the face of Skeens says it all there as Mason Foster starts to worm his way back into control here. And it seems like Skeens and Foster are just one of those rivals that seem destined to repeat history over and over again. And more people are getting drawn into their fights. We know that, you know, AD Nathaniel has been a loyal servant to Skeens, and he's always been grateful for it. Justin Lachlan, of course, was also a part of it. But now the Divine Right getting involved as well. There's a lot of moving parts, cogs in the machine, but it's all stemming from the same place. Mason Foster and Brad Skeens, both with the exact same goal, and that is to become world champion again. For Skeens, you know, he was the last world champion, if my recollection is correct. And even still, Mason was a person in hot pursuit of that title again. They both traded it back and forth. Just like the European title, these two seem to just keep fighting each other. Oh, hold on a minute there. And Lawless getting a bit impatient there. Not trusting Mason, maybe. I thought Mason was in trouble. He needs to remember that there is disqualifications. And Mason needs to remember the count. We're on a count of 9 here. Mason needs to get himself back in the ring, as does Brad. But look at that. Again, it shows the nobility there of the Divine Right. They're not here to take advantage of the numbers game or to cheat. They are here to level the playing field and make sure that these super groups don't take over control just through the sheer numbers game. And you can see it happening already. Like, the Acolytes haven't been an amazing threat yet, but they have the numbers. They've got Aric, Azrael, they've got Akira Black. They've got the numbers to progress. And look at this. Mason had him in trouble there. Oh my God! The height on that reversal there, and that's definitely going to do the damage. And that's something you don't see from original Brad very often. And now look at this. Brad going for a big move of his own. Massive tombstone pile driver into the cover. And Mason Foster is in trouble, but he finds a way to power out. And that is the problem here. Brad has always been a heavy hitter, the first world champion in WIW history. And now look at this, going for a triangle hold here. Maybe trying to pass out Mason. And that's not going to be good. Mason is already taking a big hit. 5 minutes gone in this matchup, 10 to go. And Mason now having to use his strength. He seems to have the mass advantage here, like in terms of weight. But the height is definitely going to Brad. Oh, actually, I say definitely. It's only just, but the height advantage there. Tossing him aside there, getting covered, trying to test his nerve, I guess, in this match. See what Brad's got left in the tank. And of course, Justice at ringside. They can't always be trusted to stay unbiased. Headbutt has just... Oh my God! The cut above Brad's head. Right there with the headbutt. And it's a 2 count. But Mason has just found blood. And that is definitely going to help proceedings. And now Mason looking for a finishing touch here to put this one away. Can he find it? No, Brad had it scouted. He may be cut, but he's not out of this yet. And now trying to get back on the offensive is Mason. But Brad saw it coming, and massive fall-away slam. And Mason is back on retreat. And Mason is looking for a finishing blow. He's trying to find a way out of there. He has the cut. He's found a weakness in Brad's game, which seems to have evolved a lot, because that is not something we'd see from the old moveset of original Brad. He is truly evolved from that man that we know who was the first world champion. And that is what you need to do. And and now I see Mason has a matching cut. And look at this. Oh my God, he's just tossed him into the steel stairs. Oh, and Skeens now. Skeens now thinking maybe needs to come to the rescue here. Needs to scrap it on the outside. This is getting nasty now. Both men with vicious cuts above their eyes. And they're both... I don't know who's bleeding more now. Mason was really cut open with whatever Brad was trying to do. And now Mason again. Oh, look at this. Now rubbing salt in the wounds of Brad, posing right in front of Justice, who seem itching to get themselves into this match. Mason now, what's he thinking? Calling for something maybe in the corner. Running in. Massive lariat, and that power, the extra mass now that Foster has. He's bulked up a lot since his original WIW days. And now look at this, using that power advantage here. Picking him up by the throat. And a big backbreaker there. And this is a very different side of Mason. He's getting more hostile as this match grows on. Both trying to put this one away, doing the damage to each other, and get a little bit of revenge here, Mason Foster. And now once again, lining up for a chance to put this one away. Can he finally find it? Goes behind again. Mason's got him. Slams him down. Covered by Mason. He knows he's got it. Look at the confidence. Oh my God. And Mason can't believe his eyes. He thought he had it. But the confidence is definitely there despite the cut. Well, that was a big hit, and that's what Mason's been looking for in this whole match. But Brad is holding on despite the cut. He is clearly hurt. And Mason is trying to stay on top of him to make sure he stays in control. Lordic is telling him to come down, and he comes down in a big way with a huge frog splash. Oh, wait. Lights have gone off there. And Brad has used it to his advantage. Brad using the lights to take control. Getting him up very lethargically for another tombstone. With his last breath on the tombstone. He needs to get over and make the cover. And oh no, look at this. Malcolm Black, the former Malcolm Black, should I say, coming to Mason's rescue. Keeping him alive in this contest. Big headbutt. Brad got distracted again. Massive suplex. Cover again. Mason to put him away. He can't do it. Mason can't do it. Look at him. He's just trying to do anything now to put him away. And after what I was saying earlier about no cheating, it seems that all of a sudden, Malcolm thinking maybe trouble was brewing in the corner of Mason Foster. Maybe he thought this fight was coming to an end and trying to keep things alive in the Mason Foster camp. And again, Lawless getting himself involved here. And he needs to be careful that the ref doesn't try and disqualify him. We are 2/3 through the way through this match. The big hits have been landed here. The tombstones have come flying out, and Mason's been hitting big moves of his own. And now Brad going up top. Something we're not used to seeing from him here. Mason trying to intercept, and he's able to get him down. But no one comes out on top of that exchange. Big fists flying here. Brad, double underhook. Massive suplex there. Very well done. And Brad, he's looking confident now. He's starting to get back into control. He had early control of the matchup. He lost it midway there, but once again is able to find it. And now going for a cover on his end. Can he find it? And Deflordicus may have missed the rope break in the first tag match, but he definitely saw that one. A 1 count, and we might be going the distance here. Neither of these two wanting to give up. Looking for the tombstone again. Mason in a bad spot. Tombstone one more time. But can he get up and make the cover this time? Can he get it done? This would be a huge win for the equalizer. If he can get it, Original Brad has beaten him. What a match. What a fight. What a contest. These two went to absolute war with each other. And despite the Divine Right's best attempts to keep things at play, Original Brad gets a huge win. And look at the blood across his eye. He really went to war to get that one. And the Divine Right, once again being forced to retreat. And once again forced to have to rethink their strategies here. Original Brad, he has proven to be more than an equalizer. He seems to be the advantage at the hands of Justice. And the momentum is all with them right now. A huge win in the main event for Original Brad. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you did, be sure to let your thoughts and feelings be known in the comments below, and I will see you all again very soon. Peace.